Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. We're going to take a small break from Christmas in Arkham this week, at least this morning, to revisit a game that we first played on the channel last week. We're going to come back to Payoff Pitch Baseball by Sideline Strategy Games. This one, just like it sounds, is a baseball simulator, and we're going to continue a series of games that I started in a fantasy setting in 2001. So the first time we played Payoff Pitch Baseball, we played the Boston Red Sox versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks were coming into Fenway Park. That game ended in a 4-3 10-inning victory for the Red Sox when Carl Everett hit a solo home run in the 10th inning. We had pretty good performances by both Randy Johnson and Pedro Martinez, both of our starters, neither of whom came away from the game with a decision. So we're going to revisit that game and continue that 3-game set. But with that, we can move over to the game area and take a look at our shop. Just checking everything out on the shot here. I think everything looks good over here. So you can see we've also got the Marvel Champions dials now to keep track of scores at a glance, in addition to the score sheets and the box scores that I'll be using. So I think with that, we're all set to get into this game. So once again, in the immortal words of every baseball umpire ever, play ball. Our starting lineup for the Diamondbacks today will be the same one that we had in Game 1 of our series. We'll have Junior Spivey at second base, Jay Bell is our designated hitter, Luis Gonzalez in left, Matt Williams at third, Mark Grace at first, Reggie Sanders at first, right field, Steve Finley in center field, Damian Miller's catching, Craig Counsell at short, and facing that lineup for the Red Sox will be Hideo Nomo. We've got his card right there so we can see that. I've got everything else laid out there. Junior Spivey up first, and as you might recall, the way we resolve at-bats is we've got 4 dice. If I can stop dropping them. We've got 2 D6 and a D percentile. The 2 D6s will come off the pitcher's card, then the D percentile will be the batter's result from whatever section we're pulling from. So let's get into Junior Spivey's leadoff at bat for this game. So Nomo waits for the sign and the pitch. Box cards will be a defense check. Let's see who we're checking on. We are checking range on the center fielder. Our center fielder for Boston is Carl Everett. His range is a D, so we'll be rolling the D percentile. We want a 60 and up to make the out. That's an 87, so Carl Everett will get over to a well-hit fly ball out to center field and make the play, and that'll be 1 away. So that'll be the flat F8. That will then bring Jay Bell up to the hill for Nomo. He'll wait for the sign and the delivery. 6 will be a tough 72. Tough 72 will be Carl Everett getting another fly ball hit his way. And just like that, we've got 2 away in the inning. And that will bring Luis Gonzalez to the plate. Nomo waits for the sign and the pitch. 4, patient, 40. I don't think is he that patient? Yes, he is patient enough to work a base on balls out of it. So we've got a 2-out walk, sending Luis Gonzalez to first base with 2 out. That'll bring Matt Williams to the plate. Luis Gonzalez is a D steal. I don't think he's going anywhere. He's not going to go anywhere now with 2 out. The pitch from Nomo. We can get it through. Patient 22 against a righty. That'll be a walk. That'll be a second walk of the inning for Hideo Nomo. And suddenly he finds himself in a little trouble with 2 out. Which will bring Mark Grace to the plate. Suddenly this inning's looking very interesting for Nomo. Let's see what happens here. He's against a righty. 6 is a tough 93. Nomo, I think, will get out of trouble, though. 93, that'll be a fly out to left, and indeed, Hideo Nomo gives up 2 walks, but that will get him out of the inning and retire the side for Arizona. So Arizona gets a couple of 2-out walks, but they can't do anything with them. Remains no score. Which will bring Boston to the plate. Which will bring Boston to the plate for the first time. So let's take a look at their lineup. Today they have Darren Lewis in left field, Jose Offerman in second, Carl Everett in center, who's gotten a couple of fly balls hit his way, Manny Ramirez in the DH spot, Trot Nixon in right, Jason Varitek catching, Shea Hillenbrand at third, Brian Daubach at first, and finally Craig Grebick at shortstop. And facing that lineup for Arizona will be Curt Schilling, who will become a Red Sox in, I believe, 3 years. But he's not. But right now he's a Diamondback and charged with keeping that lineup under control. You need to keep an eye out for Schilling's splitter. But our first batter here will be Darren Lewis. So let's see what happens here. Schilling waits for the sign from Damian Miller and the pitch. 6 is a tough 10. That should be a strikeout. Yep. Darren Lewis can't catch up with the splitter, and that'll be 1 away. Tries to swing at it, but misses. And that's 1 away for Jose Offerman. Schilling waits for the sign and the pitch. 5, patient, 54. He is patient enough to get a single out of that, so Jose Offerman on base with a 1-out single. That'll bring Carl Everett to the plate. Let's see, Offerman is a 3 steal. He's not going anywhere. Let's see what Everett does here. 6, tough 70. Carl Everett's going to get a double off of that. Let's see what happens here. Double, line into left center, cut off by the left fielder. All runners score, so Jose Offerman's going to come in to score, which will bring us to 1-0 Boston. Oop. Turn the dial the other way, Phoenix. There we go. So that'll bring Offerman in to score, and Everett will end up at second with a 1-out double. And that'll bring Manny Ramirez up. Now an interesting question is, do you walk Ramirez and try to set up the double play? Ramirez hit that, if you remember the first game, Manny Ramirez had a 3-run homer to start some serious trouble for Boston, so I think they are going to put Ramirez on with an intentional walk. I don't know if there's a rule for intentional walks, but we're going to house rule one because it just makes too much sense, especially in this situation. Trot Nixon coming up next as Schilling waits for the sign from Miller and the pitch. 7 that's probably going to be a good decision. Tough 3. Trot Nixon will also not be able to catch up with the splitter. So that'll be a swinging strike 3, and that'll bring Jason Varitek up to the plate. Schilling trying to get out of the first inning with just the 1 run of damage. The pitch, 8, tough 14, and Schilling will manage to get out of trouble. That'll be a called third strike. That will retire the side, but not before Schilling gives up a double into left field and faces a 1-0 deficit. We'll head into the top of the second next once I get all of these reorganized. And then Nomo will be coming back to the hill with the second half of the order due up. Reggie Sanders steps into the batter's box as Nomo finishes up his warm-up tosses, coming back out for the top of the second. Nomo waits for the sign from Varitek and the pitch. 5 will be a patient 24. He's plenty patient to get a walk out of that. Nomo's having some serious control issues today. That's his 3rd walk of the day. Boston does not want to get activity in the bullpen already, but they might have to. Steve Finley due up next. Oop. Nomo gets the sign. Sanders is a 6 steal. We could try to steal a base here. I was looking off and on at the rules for how to steal in this game. We might actually try it here. But we got to see if he can get the jump first. I had the charts for stealing ready. He's going to be a 7 steal for the one time in the game. No, I think he's going to stay put. So Steve Finley gets the pitch. 11, wheelhouse check. Uh-oh, 67. I think 67 is too high, though. 67 will be a fly out to left. 1 away. Which will bring Damian Miller up to the plate, who's having his first at-bat against Nomo today. Nomo is breathing. Well, Nomo is still very much tense in the inning with a leadoff single, or leadoff walk. So he gets the pitch. 6 is a tough 26. Tough 26. Miller will go chasing a curveball. That'll be 2 away, and that'll bring Craig Counsell up. Nomo gets the sign from Varitek on the pitch. 9, ballpark check, 36. He's a lefty. That's a wheelhouse check. Fortunately for Nomo, Craig Counsell doesn't have a lot of power behind it. But let's see what happens on a wheelhouse. 87 is going to be way too high. That'll be a ground ball to second. And to the relief of Nomo, he manages to get away from a leadoff walk. So that will retire Arizona for the second inning. Bottom of the second, bringing Boston back to the plate. Shea Hillenbrand leading off as Schilling goes back to work on a 1-0 deficit. Schilling gets the sign from Miller in the pitch. 7 is a tough 81. 81 will be a fly out to center, where Steve Finley's waiting for it, and he'll make the play on that. Help if I click the pen down. That'll be 1 away, bringing Brian Daw back to the hill, who's having his first at-bat today against Schilling. The pitch. 11 is a ballpark check. 79 is probably too high for anything good. Yep, that'll be an in-play check. So in play, 39 is going to be too high. That'll be a line out to second. You line out to second where Junior Spivey is waiting for it. 2 outs will bring Craig Grebick up to the plate, who does not have a lot of power at all in this one. And he's our shortstop. So let's see what Grebick does here. 6. Tough 6. Yeah, he'll go after a slider out of the zone. Schilling starting to settle down a bit as the Red Sox go in order 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the second. Moving into the third inning now with the top of the order due up for the Diamondbacks and Nomo getting ready. Nomo finishing up his warm-up tosses as Junior Spivey steps into the batter's box. Nomo waits for the sign from Varitek and the pitch. 10, patient 50. Is he that patient? He's patient enough to get another leadoff walk. Actually, a leadoff walk. Nomo once again with serious control problems today. Spivey's a 2. I don't think he's going anywhere with that. Nomo's hold is a 10. No, he's not gonna go. He's not gonna go anywhere. J Bell coming up to the plate. Nomo watches Spivey and makes the pitch. 10 is a patient 1. Patient 1, that's gonna be another walk. That is Nomo. Nomo is having a lot of control issues today. Boston does not want to go to their bullpen this early, but that is already 1, 2, 3. That is 5 walks already for Nomo. Boston is probably not going to have a choice but to go to the bullpen. especially with Luis Gonzalez coming to the plate. They do not want to give him Nomo's giving Arizona a lot of free help in this one. But Nomo gets the sign for the pitch. 8 is a tough 13. Nomo needed that. Nomo's going to go after a curveball. Or Gonzalez is going to go after a curveball. 1 away, and that'll bring Matt Williams up to the plate, who might be an even worse. This might be an even worse idea for Nomo. But he gets the sign from Varitek and the pitch. 8 will be a tough 34. Matt Williams will also strike out. He'll look at a fastball on the outside corner. That's 2 away for Mark Grace. Suddenly, Nomo's trying to get out of the inning without any damage. The pitch. 11. That's a wheelhouse check, and a 4 is going to be a 3-run homer by Mark Grace. It'll go all the way back and get over the monster for a 3-run bomb. Touch them all, and just like that, it's now 3-1 Arizona. Everybody's coming home. Nomo's control is very much suspect, so Boston after that is going to start getting activity in the bullpen. They're going to need long relief, so they're going to get Paxton Crawford loose in the bullpen. Let's see. Okay. I'm just trying to keep the lineup in order. And that is still... Oh yeah, we have 2 outs in the inning. That shouldn't bring Reggie Sanders back. Oh yeah, Reggie Sanders. Never mind. Derp. Okay, now that we've got that straight, Reggie Sanders is due up after the 3-run homer by Mark Grace. Reggie Sanders waits for the sign from Nomo, who's suddenly looking very shaky. The pitch. 3 is a tough 3. Reggie Sanders will strike out to end the inning, but not before Nomo gives up a 3-run homer and lets Arizona take the lead 3-1. Which will bring us into the home half of the 3rd inning. And now Schilling suddenly finds himself with a 2-run lead. And leading off with the top of the order due up for Boston. Darren Lewis up first. Schilling finishes his warm-up tosses as Lewis steps in. Schilling waits for the sign from Miller and the pitch. 8 will be a tough 53. Lewis will fight it off for a single, though, and get on base with the leadoff single. Jose Offerman. Why am I clicking that pen off? Jose Offerman due up next. Pitch from Schilling. 8 is a tough 40. He'll strike out. Offerman will strike out swinging at a splitter. That ends up in the dirt, 1 away. Which should bring... Wait. Oh. We gotta move some of the cards a little bit. That'll bring Carl Everett up. What did Carl Everett do his first time? He had a double in the first time against Schilling. The pitch from Schilling. 8 is a tough 99. That'll be a fly out to left. As Luis Gonzalez gets under it. And that'll be 2 away. Bringing Manny Ramirez up, who got a free pass in his first. Who got a free pass in the first. And Arizona managed to get out of trouble from that. This time Schilling is going to pitch to him. And here's the offering. 7 is a tough 78. He'll swing over top of a splitter as well. And that will retire the side. So Schilling will get away from a leadoff single, striking out 2, and continue to nurse the 2-run lead. So after 3, once I finish getting the cards organized properly, there we go. After 3, it's Arizona 3, Boston 1 in Game 2 of our 3-game set. That'll move us into the top of the 4th, where Paxton Crawford is just about ready to come in, but they're going to send Nomo back out to pitch another inning. Crawford isn't quite ready to come in yet, so they're going to send Nomo out to pitch starting the 4th inning, with Reggie Sanders due up next. Nomo gets the sign from Veritek and the pitch. 6 will be a tough 98. 98 will be a fly out to left, where Darren Lewis is waiting for it and makes the play. 1 away, which will bring Steve Finley up to the plate, who Steve Finley is first time up. Wait. Oh no, I think that was still a fly out for Steve Finley anyway. It looks like Reggie Sanders was the last batter of the inning. That's still... 98 would actually be a fly out to right, where Trot Nixon would be waiting to make the play. Still 1 away, which will bring Damian Miller up to the plate. And Damian Miller's first time up, he struck out looking. So let's see what we get into here for Damian Miller. Pitch. That's a ballpark check and a 50. He's a righty, so that's actually a wheelhouse check. 1-30, it's gone. 83 is going to be too high. That'll be a fly out to center field as it gets near the warning track. But Carl Everett manages to make the play. He's really earning his pay today. And just like that, there will be 2 away in the 4th for Craig Counsell coming up. Nomo seems to be settling down. Pitch. 10 is a patient 61. Is he that patient? He's patient enough to get a single, this Counsell. So that'll be a 2-out single to put Craig Counsell on first. And that will bring Junior Spivey up to the plate, as Nomo finds himself in a familiar position of a 2-out single, but he managed to get out of the inning. Last time he gave up a... actually, did he get out of the inning after he gave up... He got into trouble in the 1st, but managed to get out. Actually, he's gotten into trouble in both the 1st and the 3rd, and gotten out of it. We'll see if he's able to get out of it here without knocking the dice over. Junior Spivey waits for the offering, and here it comes. 6 will be a tough 71. Just barely, but Spivey will go swinging at a changeup. And that will do it for the side. So Boston manages to avoid further damage in the 4th inning. Counsell gets on with a 2-out single, but they can't do anything with it, bringing us to the home half of the 4th inning. Curt Schilling finishing his warm-up tosses. No activity in the Arizona bullpen. That'll bring the second half of the order in for Boston. Trot Nixon up first, waits for the offering from Schilling in the pitch. Snake Eyes is a tough 90. 90 will be a ground out to second, where Junior Spivey will pick it up, nothing cute, pumps once, pumps twice, gets it over to first for the first out of the inning. And that will bring Jason Veritek up to the plate, and Veritek struck out swinging his first time up. Let's see what he does here. 11's a ballpark check. 86, he's batting righty. 86 is going to be way too high. That'll be an in-play check. 40, I think, is also too high. Yep. 40 will be a ground ball back to Schilling. He'll flip it over to first for the easy second out. Just like that, 2 away for Shea Hillenbrand, who flew out to center his first time up. So Shea Hillenbrand, let's see what he does. 8 will be a tough 83. 83, that'll be a ground out to short, where Counsell waits for it and flips it over to first to get out of the inning with a quick 1-2-3. With a quick 1-2-3 4th inning. So after 4, the score remains 3-1 Arizona. That'll bring us into the 5th, where I think Nomo is going to call it. They're going to have Nomo call it a day. So let's move into the top of the 5th. Nomo is going to leave the game with a very ugly stat line. 4 innings pitched, gave up 2 runs, gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, being the 3-run homer hit by Mark Grace in the 3rd. Walked and struck out 5. He is very much in line for the loss today if Boston can't bail him out. But the top of the 5th is going to start bringing the heart of the Arizona order up to the plate. First up, we've got Jay Bell, as Crawford now waits for the sign and the pitch. 9 will be a patient 81, but I don't think he's that patient. Yes, he is actually. He's patient enough to get plunked by the pitch. So, Jay Bell, will help if I get the right sheet up, will get hit by the pitch, and he'll end up on first. Crawford hits the first man he sees, which will bring Luis Gonzalez up to the plate. Crawford waits for the sign from Veritek, being told to settle down already, and the pitch. 9 is a patient 57. Patient 57, Gonzalez is going to end up with a single. A batsman and a single suddenly sets Crawford up in a terrible situation where he's got 2 runners on and nobody out, with Matt Williams due to the plate. Let's see what happens with this at-bat for Williams. Let's see, and 9 is going to be a patient 35. Patient 35 is going to be a single for Williams. Let's see what happens here. Ball blooped into right field. Runner on first advances a base, and the runner on second scores. So Jay Bell is going to come in to score. Luis Gonzalez is going to end up at second. And Williams coming up with nobody out. So Jay Bell will pick up another run for Arizona. And now Boston faces a tough decision because Mark Grace is coming up, and he hit the 3-run. Oh, Matt Williams is on base. So we got I think Gonzalez ended up with a walk, I believe. Yeah, I think he ended up with either a walk or a single. I'm going to give him a single. And Williams, no, we didn't draw a fast action card for that. I think he got a walk actually. Matt Williams just picked up the single that scored Jay Bell. So now we've got a tough decision if you're Boston, because you've got nobody out, and Mark Grace coming up, who had a 3-run homer, who is 1 for 2 today with a 3-run homer. Do you pitch to him or do you load the bases? I think you have to pitch to Mark Grace at this point. So Veritek's going to head out to the mound to talk to Crawford and try to settle him down a little bit. But we'll make the offering here. 9 will be a patient 79. Is he that patient? Not quite. That'll be a fly out to center field where Carl Everett will get under it to the relief of the Fenway faithful, and that'll be 1 away. With Reggie Sanders due up, Reggie Sanders is 0 for 1 with a walk. So that'll bring Reggie Sanders up with 1 away. And the pitch. 6 is an in-play 43. In-play 43 is going to be just too high. That'll be a ground ball to first. Let's see if they can turn the double play. 4 and 6, 4 or less is going to be a double play. That's an 11, so they'll just get the fielder's choice over at third, which means Luis Gonzalez is out, and Reggie Sanders, that'll be a 3-5 putout on the fielder's choice. Reggie Sanders will reach base, and that'll bring Steve Finley up to the plate, who is... that line should not be there, Phoenix. That'll bring Steve Finley up, who's 0 for 2. So Paxton Crawford might be able to get the Red Sox out of the inning without further damage. But let's see. 10 is a tough 66. 66 will be a fly out to left, and indeed, the Red Sox will get out of the... inning with only the 1 run coming in. Actually, that's the 5th they're getting out of. as Arizona now has a 4-1 lead. Right. Right, so Reggie Sanders, so it's actually, I'm sorry, I'm just organizing the cards here. Reggie Sanders, Steve Finley, okay. I should have Damian Miller leading off the top of the 6th inning. All right, but we've got the bottom of the 5th to go through first, and that will bring the bottom of Boston's order up next. Did Shea Hillenbrand? Oh yes, he was the last hitter of the 4th inning. I'm doing a terrible job, clearly, with keeping these straight. So that'll bring Brian Daubach up. Schilling is feeling like he's in control right now with a 4-1 lead. So Brian Daubach steps into the batter's box for the pitch. 4 is going to be a tough 24. Daubach will go after a splitter out of the zone, which will bring 1 away and bring Craig Grebick up to the plate. Grebick today is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Grebick gets the pitch from Schilling. 5 is a patient 37. He's not that patient. At 37 is going to be a ground out to second, where Junior Spivey waits for it and flips it over to first. Actually, that's a 37 is actually a ground out to third, where Matt Williams is waiting for it. He'll get it over to first, and that'll be 2 away in the inning to bring Darren Lewis up to the plate. Darren Lewis today is 1 for 2 with a single in the 3rd. Lewis gets the pitch from Schilling. 9 is a wheelhouse check. 86 is probably too high, though. 86 will be an in-play check. And then a 63 is going to be too high. That'll be a fly out to right, where it's hit on. Where he gets under a fastball from Schilling. Reggie Sanders will wait for it, and it'll come down from sky high, and he'll make the play on it. So F9. As the Red Sox go 1-2-3 in the 5th. Arizona picks up another run on the 5th, and it's now 4-1 Arizona as we head into the top of the 6th. Crawford's waiting for the bottom of Arizona's order now. He seems to be settling down. Damian Miller steps into the batter's box for the pitch from Crawford after the sign from Varitek. 7 is an in-play 88. That'll be a ground ball to short, where Craig Grebick will wait for it. He'll grab it and get it over to first for the first out of the inning. Bringing Craig Counsell up to the plate next. Craig Counsell's not having a terrible day. He's 1 for 2 with a single in the 4th. Craig Counsell up. His pitch. 10 is a tough 31. Craig Counsell will sit down on strikes, looking at a fastball on the outside corner. Just like that, 2 away for Junior Spivey, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk. So Junior Spivey steps into the batter's box for the offering. 10 is a tough 63. He'll also look at a curveball out of the zone. Look at a curveball just on the outside corner for strike 3, and the Diamondbacks will go 1-2-3 in the 6th. Which will bring Boston up to the plate, trying to get control of a 3-run deficit. Curt Schilling, though, is looking like he's going to probably take this game. Although we've got to see what happens. We're in the middle 3rd of it right now. Darren Lewis is due up, bringing the top of the Boston order. Actually, no. Jose Offerman's up first, as we're actually bringing the heart of Boston's order up. As we've got Offerman, then Everett, then Ramirez due up. So let's get the pitch for Offerman up. Schilling gets the sign from Miller. And that'll be 11-28. That's a ballpark check. 28's going to be a wheelhouse check. He's batting righty. 1-18. He's batting. Actually, he's batting righty. I think 1-18. It's gone. That's a 64. That'll be too high. That'll be a fly ball out to left field, about to right field. It'll get back to the warning track, But to Schilling's relief... wait, is that to Schilling's relief? Yes, that is to Schilling's relief. To Schilling's relief, Reggie Sanders will be waiting for it there. And he'll make the play on that, one away. Which will bring Carl Everett up with the bases empty. Carl Everett today is 1 for 2 with a double. So he will step into the batter's box to face Schilling for the third time. The pitch. 10 is a tough 54. That's not to Everett's liking. He will chase a slider out of the zone for strike 3. Just like that, 2 away for the DH, Manny Ramirez, who today, Manny Ramirez is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and an intentional walk from back in the first. Manny Ramirez waits for the sign in the pitch. 8 is a tough 72, and he'll once again go chasing a splitter in the dirt. And the Diamondbacks will go, or the Red Sox will go 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. So after the 6th, Arizona is still holding on to a 4-1 lead as we head into the top of the 7th. Crawford seems to be getting this game somewhat under control. Now if Boston could give him some run support, that would be great for him. But Jay Bell is due up first in the top of the 7th. So he'll get the offering, or he'll get the sign. Crawford will wait for the sign and the pitch. 9 will be a patient 14. That's not the thing you want to see when you're trying to get the game under control. That'll be a leadoff walk for Jay Bell. These walks today have been killer for Boston. So Jay Bell will reach base with a leadoff walk. That shouldn't be bringing Matt Williams. That should be bringing Luis Gonzalez up. There we are. Luis Gonzalez not having a good day today. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and 2 walks. So Luis Gonzalez gets the sign from Crawford. 8 is going to be a tough, what is that, 99? Yes, tough 99. Will be a fly out to right. Where's my score sheet? Here we are. As Trot Nixon waits for it, he'll make the play, and there will be 1 away in the top of the 7th. And that will bring Matt Williams up, who is having a decent day. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. So let's see what Matt Williams is able to do with the runner on first. That's a 9. That's a patient 7. He's going to work a walk out of the count. And just like that, Mark Grace comes to the plate in a very familiar situation with 2 runners on and 1 out. This is how Mark Grace hit the 3-run homer back in the 3rd. That remains our major part of our difference, and they're going to pitch to him to try to get the double play. So Grace gets the offering. 6 is an in-play 67, but I think that'll be too high. 67 will be a ground ball to short. We need to see if they're going to be able to turn the double play on it. 6 or less they do. Nope, they won't get the double play on that, but they will get Jay Bell out on a fielder's choice. So that will be a 61. Wait. 61 would actually be a fly ball. Would actually be a fly ball to left, where Darren Lewis would be waiting for it and make the play on it. So 2 away. So never mind, it's not Jay Bell who's out, it's Mark Grace who's out. Now I'll bring Reggie Sanders up, still with first and second with 2 out. Crawford looking to get out of the inning with no damage done. 6 is an in-play 38. 38 is just too high. That'll be a ground ball back to Crawford. He'll flip it over to first and get the out. And to the relief of the Red Sox faithful, it is still 4-1. Time for a 7th inning stretch. Make sure we stretch. Which I will gladly do after my workout this morning. But that's neither here nor there. So Schilling will get these guys off. Let's see, Jay Bell. So should we go Jay Bell, Luis Gonzalez, Matt Williams, Mark Grace. And then Reggie Sanders is no. Steve Finley will be our leadoff hitter in the 8th for the Diamondbacks. But we've got the Red Sox coming to the plate after our 7th inning stretch, and the heart of the order due up. Looks like Manny Ramirez should be gone as well. Trot Nixon coming due up. Trot Nixon is 0 for 2 with a strikeout back in the first. So Schilling will get the sign from Miller and the offering. 6 will be a tough 21, and he'll go chasing another curveball for strike 3. 1 away, which will bring Jason Varitek up to the plate, our catcher. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Jason Varitek waits for the offering and the pitch. 11 is a ballpark check, 37. That's a wheelhouse check, 1 to 46, it's gone. That's a 10. Jason Varitek has managed to hit a solo shot. That will be a fly ball back to right. And unfortunately for Reggie Sanders, he won't be able to get to it before it hits the seats. And the Boston faithful will celebrate a solo shot by Varitek, which will bring the Red Sox to within 2. As the crowd goes crazy, Shea Hillenbrand steps in and to see if they can continue the momentum against Schilling. Shea Hillenbrand will wait for his offering. The pitch. 8 is a tough 24. Schilling will come back with a splitter and tell Hillenbrand, hey, go back to the dugout and sit down. Hillenbrand wanting to continue the damage, but instead there are 2 away in the inning to bring Brian Daubach up, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout as well. Daubach gets the pitch. 8 is a tough 72. Daubach will end up with a 2-out single. Let's see if Craig Grebick can do anything with a 2-out single. Probably not very likely. Grebick is not having a good day, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So Grebick due up. He gets the pitch. 7 is a tough 49. He'll go chasing the curveball out of the zone. And that will be 3 away in the top of the 7th. But Boston will pick up a run to cut the deficit to within 4-2. And we're going to get some activity in the Arizona bullpen. Who are they going to start to get loose? They're going to get... Who does Boston have due up? Boston is the top of the order up. Righty, switchy. They're going to get a lefty loose. Who are they going to go to? They're going to start getting Eric Knott loose in the Arizona bullpen. With that, they'll be heading for the top of the 8th with the bottom of Arizona's order due up to start the inning. The bottom of the Arizona order is waiting for Paxton Crawford, but Boston is going to start getting some activity going in their bullpen as well. They're going to bring in... they're going to get somebody loose. The question is, who are they going to get loose? Wait. No, I want Boston's bullpen. They're going to get... Rich Garza's had a terrible outing in the first game, so I think they're going to get... They're going to get Alan McDill loose in the bullpen. They're going to get a lefty loose. So he's getting loose in the bullpen, and we'll turn our attention back to the bottom of Arizona's order heading into the top of the 8th. Steve Finley is due up first in the inning. He's 0 for 3 today. So he gets the offering from Crawford in the pitch. 10 will be a tough 31 versus a right-handed pitcher. He will strike him out with a slider. Crawford will get him with a slider that just catches the outside corner. 1 away for Damian Miller. Damian Miller today is 0 for 3 with a strikeout in the first. Actually, was that the first or the second? The second. Damian Miller will get the pitch. 6 will be an in-play 10. That can't be good. That'll be a single, actually, for... Hold on. Daubach should be... Okay, there we go. All right, so that will be a single for Damian Miller, who will find himself on with 1 out. Craig Counsell due up next, who's not having a good day either. Craig Counsell is 1 for 3 with a single and a strikeout. So let's see what Counsell does here. 10 will be a tough 46. What he'll do is he'll fight it off for a single, surprisingly, and just like that, Arizona finds themselves with runners on first and second with one out. 1 out or 2? 1. So Damian Miller worked a single, as did Crawford, or as did Counsell. And now we've got Junior Spivey due up next, who is 0 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. So let's see what Spivey's able to do here. Probably not much against Crawford. 7 is an in-play 42. I think that's going to be too high. Yep. 42 will be a P3. That's a pop-up to... That'll be a pop-up into... P3 will be a pop-up to first. They'll call the infield fly rule on that one. Spivey will be out. That'll be 2 away. That'll bring Jay Bell up to the plate. Jay Bell today is 0 for 1 with 2 walks, and he's been hit once. Let's see what Jay Bell does with the offering from Crawford. Here it comes. 9 is a patient 23. He's patient enough to get another walk out of it. So just like that, the bases are loaded with 2 out. There's no place to put Luis Gonzalez. This is a very dangerous situation if you're Boston. Alan McDill is in the bullpen getting ready. So let's see what happens here with Crawford's offering the pitch. 7 will be an in-place. I think that die was... No, we're not going to call that cocked. Yeah, we're going to call that cocked. We're going to re-roll that. An in-play 8 is going to be a single with the bases loaded. So let's see what happens here. Long single into the gap to center field. Runner on first advances. So Damian Miller is going to score, obviously. And the runners on both first and second will advance 1 base. So we're still going to find ourselves with the bases loaded and 2 out. Now our situation is just that Matt Williams is due up. So Damian Miller will come in to score. That would be an RBI single for Luis Gonzalez. We'll put Damian Miller in the proper place in the order. Damian Miller should be there. So just like that, we've got the bases loaded with 2 out, and Matt Williams due up. Matt Williams today is 1 for 2 with a single, a strikeout, and 2 walks. So let's see what Williams does here against Crawford. 10 is going to be a tough 21. Paxton Crawford will get a much-needed strikeout on that, as Matt Williams will try to do too much with it, try to do too much with a changeup, and that will be the end of the inning. But Arizona will pick up another run in the top of the 8th and bring the lead up to 5-1. We'll clear the bases out, and we'll get ready for the home half of the 8th inning, where Schilling is probably going to call it a day here. He's pitched a pretty masterful game, all things considered. Counsell, Jay Bell after Spivey. Okay, now that we got that figured out. So Schilling's going to leave after a very good performance today, as Eric Knott will come in to face the top of the Boston order. Schilling leaves very much in line for the win. He's got 7 innings pitched today, given up 5 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, struck out 12, and he didn't hit anybody. So let's see if Eric Knott can keep things under control for Arizona and preserve Schilling being in line for the victory today. So we've got the top of the order due up for Boston. Darren Lewis up first, who is 0 for 3 with a single and a strikeout. So let's see what Darren Lewis does with Knott. 11 will be a tough 40. 40, he'll fight that one off for a leadoff single, which will put him on to start the 8th. Now we'll bring Jose Offerman to the plate, who is 1 for 3 with a single and a strikeout. So let's see what Offerman does with Knott. He waits for the pitch. 10 is a defense check. Let's see who we're checking here. An error on the shortstop. The shortstop is Craig Counsell. His range is a C. Actually, we're looking for an error on the shortstop, so his error rating is a 3, which means a 49 and up, Counsell will make the play. That's a 46, so Craig Counsell will actually boot that, and Jose Offerman will find himself on base, and just like that, we've got 2 on and nobody out for Carl Everett. This is a very bad situation if you're a Diamondbacks fan. Carl Everett coming up. Fortunately for them, Carl Everett's having a bad day. He's 1 for 3 with a double and a strikeout. So let's see what Knott can do with this. Pitch. 9 is going to be an in-play 22. Everett's going to get a single out of that. Let's see what happens here. Line drive into center field. Runner on first advances 1 base, and the runner on second scores. So Lewis is going to come in to score. Jose Offerman will end up at second. And now Boston has the lead cut. Boston's cut the lead to 5-3. And we still have 2 on with nobody out. The Boston faithful Boston seems to be reviving their slightly listless team. With Manny Ramirez due up, who has been struggling a bit today. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. So let's see what Ramirez does with the pitch from Knott. 7 is a tough 70. I think they needed that. That's going to be a ground ball to... Let's see, 70 is going to be a ground ball to second. Let's see if they can get the double play. That'll be a 6 or less. They will not get the double play, but they will get Offerman on a fielder's choice. So that will be a 4-5 put out on a fielder's choice. And 1 away to bring Trot Nixon up. Trot Nixon today is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. So if Arizona looking to try to contain the damage to 1 run, which a 9 is an in-play 25, that won't help. That'll give them another single. Actually, let's see what happens on here. On a single, a sharp liner drops in front of the left fielder. Runner on first advances 1 base. Runner on second advances 1 base plus. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to say Offerman advances 1 base. That'll load the bases with 1 out and bring Jason Varitek up, who hit a solo shot in the 7th. Right now, a homer would be much more devastating to the Diamondbacks for obvious reasons, because it would give Boston the lead. But let's see what Varitek can do with the offering from Knott. A 5 is an in-play 22. That'll be another single. Sharp liner into center field. Runner on first advances 1 base. Runner on second scores. So that'll be a 2 RBI single. That'll be a 2 RBI single from Jason Varitek. And just like that, the game is tied. As the Fenway faithful go crazy, and Schilling is now going to end up with a no decision. So that'll put Jason Varitek on, still with only 1 out. Knott is not having a good day at all. Offerman, then Everett. Arizona's probably going to go back to the bullpen once again. We're getting some late inning drama here. Game is tied at 5 apiece. Arizona's going to get more activity in the bullpen. They're already... As Knott is getting shelled here, they're going to bring in... Who do they have coming? Who does Boston have coming up? Righty, lefty, righty. This is bad all around. They're going to get... I'm just deciding who they want to bring in. They're going to start getting Brett... No. They don't have another... Yes, they do have another lefty. They're going to get Greg Swindell. Arizona's going to start getting Swindell loose in the bullpen. But Damian Miller's going to go out and have a chat with Knott to try to settle this game, to try to settle him down. Let's see what Hillenbrand can do with 1 out. The Red Sox are in danger of batting around in the 8th. But let's see what happens here. 4 is going to be an in-play 70. I think 70 is, yep, 70 is going to be too high. That'll be a ground ball to second. Let's see if they can get the double play. 7, 8, 7 or less. Arizona will manage to get a 4-3 double play as he's their second baseman. Here's the other score sheet. As it'll be hit hard to Spivey. He'll take it to second himself, throw it over to first, and that'll be a 4-3 double play. As Arizona will get out of the inning with having given up 3 runs in the inning and given up their decision for Schilling, and the game is now tied at 5-all. That'll bring us into the top of the 9th, where Arizona has the heart of their order due up. With the goal of keeping this game tied, Boston's going to turn to Alan McDill in the top of the 9th with the heart of Arizona's order due up. Mark Grace is up first. He is today 1 for 4 with a 3-run homer back in the 3rd. So let's see what Grace does here. Waits for the offering from McDill in the pitch. 7 will be a tough 61. 61 will be a fly ball out to left, where Darren Lewis will wait for it, and he'll make an easy play on that. That'll be a lazy fly ball, 1 away. That'll bring Reggie Sanders up to the plate. Reggie Sanders today is 0 for 3 with a strikeout, and he reached on a fielder's choice back in the 5th. So let's see what Sanders can do with the offering from McDill. 4 is going to be a patient 70. I don't think he's that patient against a lefty. Nope. That'll be a ground ball to second. He'll flip it over to first for the easy putout. So that'll be 4-3 on the putout, 2 away. That'll bring Steve Finley up to the plate, who Steve Finley is 0 for 4. He struck out back in the 8th when Arizona almost batted around. Let's see what Finley does with the offering from McDill. 4 is a patient 28. He'll work a walk out of that. McDill will surrender a 2-out walk, which will bring Damian Miller up to the plate. Miller today is 1 for 4 with a strikeout, and he reached back in the 7th. Actually, he led off the 7th. No, he didn't lead off the 7th with the 8th with that single. But let's see if Damian Miller can prolong this Arizona rally. There should be 2 outs. Let's see what Miller can do. 6 is a tough 52. He'll reach on a double. Liner into left center, cut off by the left fielder. All runners score. So Finley will come all the way in to score and give Arizona a 6-5 lead. So Finley scored. Miller got the... Let me just double check. Miller, I think, ended up with a 1-out double. That was a tough 52. He ended up with a double. I was just making sure I had that straight. Okay. So Damian Miller's ending up with a 1-out double. And that'll bring Craig Counsell up. Who Craig Counsell is 2 for 4 with he's singled twice and he's struck out. And now we've got to decide if we're going to try to bunt Miller over to third base, and I think we are going to try to bunt him over. So I just got to remember how the fast action charts work. Sacrifice bunt. That's the batter's sacrifice range. He's a D bunt, so we'll take the fast action card, and a D. Counsell will get the sacrifice bunt down, so that'll bring Miller over to third with 2 out, and put 2 outs for Junior Spivey up. Junior Spivey looks like 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. Actually 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. So let's see what Spivey can do with 2 outs. Against McDill. Let's see, a 3 is a defense check. Let's see who we're checking here. We're checking for a potential error on the second baseman. The second baseman for Boston is Jose Offerman. His range he's a 2 error. So a 1 to 57 will be an error. He wants a 58 and up to make the play. That's a 90. That's a 91, so he will make the play. So that'll be a 6-3 putout. And that'll get Boston out of the inning, but Arizona now still has a 6-5. Actually, Arizona now has a 6-5 lead. And Arizona is going to bring in Greg Swindell to try to close this game out. With the Heart of Boston's order. Actually, is the Heart of Boston's order due up next? I didn't think so. No, the bottom of Boston's order is due up in the home half of the 9th inning. Damian Miller. Okay, now that we got that figured out. Okay. Just in case we go to bonus baseball today. Brian Daubach waits for the offering as Swindell takes the mound. So the pitch from Swindell. 7 is going to be a tough 91. That'll be a ground ball to second, where the second baseman Spivey is going to make the play. That'll be a 4-3 put out. 1 away. Which will bring Craig Grebick up to the plate next. Craig Grebick is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Let's see what Grebick does with Swindell. 3 is going to be a ballpark check. 94 is going to be an in-play. He's a right-handed batter, so that's an in-play check. 35 is way too high. That'll be a ground ball to third, so that'll be a 5-3 put out. 2 away as Matt Williams will make the play and get it over to Grace. And with 2 out, we're going to bring Darren Lewis up, Darren Lewis today is 2 for 4 with 2 singles and a strikeout. But it's time for him to be the hero if he can against Greg Swindell. So the pitch, 6 is a tough 98. That'll be a fly ball out to left, and that will do it for the game. So Arizona will salvage a split from Fenway as they'll win this one 6-5. Your winning pitcher today will actually be Eric Knott, even with his terrible outing. I'm just going to catch up on stats here. I don't think he gave up any hits. Nope, he retired to side 1, 2, 3, so nothing fancy there. Your winning pitcher today, like I said, will be Eric Knott. If Arizona picked up the win, the losing pitcher today will be... I wonder who we give the loss to on this one. Alan McDill pitched... I think he pitched 2 innings, which he shouldn't have been able to do now that I look at it, but oh well. 2 innings for McDill. He had 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Gave up 2 runs, both of which were earned. Gave up 2 walks. I don't think he struck anybody out. Oh, he got 1, 2... He did get 2 strikeouts. Never mind. I think the loss would probably go to... Hideo Nomo, actually. Somebody who's smarter at baseball stats than I am can weigh in on that. And then the save will go to Greg Swindell. But that will do it for this playthrough of Payoff Pitch Baseball. Our possible 3-game set is now split at a game apiece. I may play game 3 a little bit later on this month just to finish the set, but I really have been enjoying my playthroughs of Payoff Pitch Baseball so far. We'll talk more about that during the end of December recap, but that will do it for this playthrough of Payoff Pitch Baseball. Later this afternoon, I'm penciling in to step back into my playthrough of Mag 23 Guadalcanal, but we'll see what happens there. Tomorrow we're going to start a roll and write day as we go back to Twilight Inscription from Fantasy Flight. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.